Mahomes really did sign a very team-friendly deal. And as I mentioned, it's not about getting every dime you can because the owners have already won the fact that the revenue that the players can get is capped, right, at a percent. So they just have to share amongst themselves. If one position resets a market, he's taking from another position. You must necessarily rob Peter to pay Paul. So understanding that is how it goes. The owners have already won the kind of fight where you're going to probably have to sacrifice some dollars if you want to leave enough flexibility for the team to build around you, which is what Mahomes did. But once Mahomes takes the guaranteed money, $140 million, and gives away his rights to the team for the length of time that he did, it puts someone like Dak in a little bit of a tight spot. So my prediction would be, because he ain't Patrick Mahomes, my prediction would be that someone on Dak's team calls the Cowboys and says, look, you have to do something right now so we can save face and then close the deal. Everyone looking into the future saying, well, the revenue is going to go up and up and up on TV, I think also has to grapple with the reality that the disastrous handling of the pandemic, not to mention even overheating the economy before the pandemic ever even hit, with severe deficit spending, but especially the disastrous federal response to the pandemic, does not make the future, necessarily so clear in terms of the league just continuing to grow and grow and grow. And that kind of uncertainty, coupled with the Mahomes deal, I think will have Dak signing before the deadline. It's going to require maybe a little movement on the Cowboys. So something new happened, and now we can sign. But that would be my best guess.
That's a good point.
Well, Max, I have to disagree with you. I think it works well for both parties if you just let Dak play under the franchise tag and don't force anything right now with 5 days left until the deadline. And here's why. I think Jerry Jones and the Cowboys did a great job in this year's draft and free agency. They put together a complete roster, filled the voids that needed to be filled for us, the cornerbacks and, drafting a guy in CD Lamb and, they have all the pieces to contend for a championship, in my opinion. And they also put the right pieces around Dak Prescott. So in my opinion, if I'm the Cowboys, I'm like, look, I put you in position to be successful. We're going to let you play on the franchise tag. You got to go out here and show us that you could at least take us to the Super Bowl, and then we'll go back to the drawing board. That's just my opinion. Domonique, I'm going to pass it to you and let you address it, but that was just my quick take on it.
No, I mean, you didn't say anything that I necessarily disagree with in terms of this particular argument, but I do think that Dak still has the leverage. I couldn't quite follow how Max feels like the leverage has shifted because Dak has the leverage, and I think that means that he gets a deal done because the Cowboys have to come to what he wants as far as 4-year contract and the amount of money that he wants. I don't think that he's going to get up to $40 million a year, but I certainly think he's going to get around what Russell Wilson got per year average. Dak doesn't have any pressure at this point. The pressure was last year. If he underplayed last year, then his reputation might have changed and maybe people wouldn't have wanted him. But you know how hard it is to find quarterbacks in this league. And right now, Dak, I'm sure, has some sort of insurance on injury. So if he gets hurt in this coming season, most of that will be covered. And it's guaranteed, frankly. And then if he plays another season, even if he plays poorly, Dak's track record is such that people respect him as a quarterback. Even if he plays poorly in his second season and they release him and becomes a free agent, there will be a team that needs a quarterback and be willing to meet whatever number he needs because he may be the missing piece on a team that is a quarterback away. So Dak is in a perfect position. You put on top of it, if Dak plays under the franchise tag this year and next year, he will make more than any other quarterback in football. So why Dak would be in a rush, I don't understand why anyone would say he might be in a rush. And the Cowboys certainly should tie him up.
Let me be clear. I wasn't clear enough the first time. Two factors. One, the Mahomes deal. The guarantee is not what I thought it would be, and he gave away a lot of years in order even to get $140 million. Mahomes is way better than Dak. Dak's not in Mahomes' class. So Dak's going to get less than Mahomes. But I thought Mahomes' guarantee would be larger, and then that would give Dak more leverage. You combine that with the fact that there is a pandemic that creates anxiety about the economic future for good reason. And you combine that with, okay, you put your name here, here's over $100 million guaranteed. You don't put your name there, here's 30. It is difficult under these circumstances, I believe, for anyone to leave $70 million guaranteed dollars on the table. Now, it would be different if Mahomes' guarantee was $165 million, right? And he didn't give away so much. Then Dak could reasonably say, you guys are about $20 million light, or I only want so many years. But Mahomes gave him all the years, and they didn't have to give him all the money guaranteed, and I think that weakens Dak's leverage. So that's why I think today Dak has less leverage than I thought he had a month ago.
I agree with so many of the points that you said, but you failed to look at it from the other perspective also. Like, I understand that maybe it's hard to walk away from that amount of money, having 30 guaranteed versus 100 plus guaranteed, but look at it on the other side where you're Jerry Jones and you're the Cowboys and you feel like you have a quarterback. You know how many years teams go looking for quarterbacks? You have one.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.